Good morning, Father Rayappa from Ecology, India. I'm going to read article number 142 from Pope Francis's encyclical on ecology and environment, Laudato Si. Article number 142, where he talks about social ecology. I quote, "If everything is related, then the health of a society's institutions has consequences for the environment and the quality of human life. Every violation of solidarity and civic friendship harms the environment. In this sense, social ecology is necessarily institutional and gradually extends to the whole of society. From the primary social group, the family, to the wider local, national, and international communities. Within each social stratum and between them, institutions develop to regulate human relationships. Anything which weakens those institutions has negative consequences such as injustice, violence, and loss of freedom. A number of countries have a relatively low level of institutional effectiveness, which results in greater problems for their people while benefiting those who profit from this situation. Whether in the administration of the state, the various levels of civic society, or relationship between individuals themselves, lack of respect for the law is becoming more common. Laws may be well framed, yet remain a dead letter. Can we hope then that in such cases, legislation and regulations dealing with the environment will really prove effective? We know, for example, that countries which have clear legislation about the protection of forests continue to keep silent as they watch laws repeatedly being broken. Moreover, what takes place in any one area can have a direct or indirect influence on other areas. Thus, for example, drug use in affluent societies creates a continual and growing demand for producers imported from poorer regions where behavior is corrupted, lives are destroyed, and the environment continues to deteriorate." That is what Pope is writing in Laudato Si, paragraph or article number 142. Everything is connected. Again, the same mantra runs through the whole document. Social ecology. In social ecology, I am responsible for you and you are responsible for me. We are connected. And there are so many institutions. Everything starts in an individual and becomes a family and a village and a community and a town and becomes a state and becomes international. So everybody is related from the individual to all the way to the international community. After all, the individual is the community. Community is the individual. That is integral. So the individual progress is the social progress. Individual development at last is the society development. So individuals' loss is society's loss. It's integral. It's integral. So everything is connected. And also there are different kinds of institutions. Actually, society is necessarily institutional. That's what Pope says. So the government, church, other religions, other infrastructures, it's all necessary. We need them to protect human rights, to safeguard the environment, to safeguard the other people, those who are weak, those who are poor, those who can't defend themselves. These institutions, they come to help them. And if these institutions function well, without self-interest, without indifference, if they function for the common good, we must achieve the environmental balance, ecological balance, and society balance, and economic balance. What is the problem? So these institutions should not be corrupt. One self-interest pops inside. I think self-interest can trump it all, destroy everything. And there will be injustice, there will be violence, there will be destruction, there will be commotion, there will be war, there will be evil. So institutions are very, very important, Pope says, and they should be functioning on ethics. There is justice, there is righteousness, there is truth, there is objective truth. In practical relativism, we make it subjective. That is the norm of today's society. Every religion, every NGO group, and every institution wants to be holding on to their own logic. Their own logic. They interpret and they justify their actions. That is called practical relativism. But institutions should go beyond self-interest and indifference. Institutions should work for justice, peace, and righteousness and ethics. So that is what society is all about. That is social ecology. Social ecology also needs regulations and legislations. Very important. There is no anarchy. Many people think authority is not possible. Anarchy, they call anarchist. Even many people say Jesus was an anarchist and he didn't want any authority, religious authority, Roman authority. He wanted to throw everything out. Many people brand Jesus Christ an anarchist. That means no authority is possible. Everybody is free. Maybe socialism, everybody is free. Nobody can control you. So anyway, that is a different discussion. I'm not entering into that. But regulations and legislation is necessary. But also persuasion is a beautiful subject. In Ashoka's edicts, in one of the edicts, I think the pillar edict 7, I think, Ashoka inscribes that persuasion can yield much better results than regulations or legislations. You know why? Because legislation is a power and authority, but persuasion appeals to the consciousness. In other words, legislation and regulation appeals to intellect or logic, but persuasion appeals to human consciousness, responsibility, faithfulness, and accountability. And in fact, persuasive methods yield much better results and long-lasting results. And people are convinced. Ashoka writes, he inscribes in the 7th pillar edict, He says he has made legislation not to capture fish, not to hurt them. But people have understood that not only fish should be hurt, every other creature also shouldn't be hurt. That is persuasion. That is persuasion. So the legislation only pinpointed one species not to hurt. But the persuasion, when it applies to consciousness, the human consciousness expands with mercy and compassion, and it envelops all species in the natural world, encompasses. So that is the power of persuasion. So, in other words, persuasion method makes legislation and regulations unnecessary. Persuasion method is so strong, there is no need of any legislation, no need of any regulation. But that is not the point I want to say to you, but Pope is saying we need, regulations and legislations. But he expresses disappointment. Already regulations exist concerning environment. Legislations there are, environmental laws exist. Then what's going on? A country like India, violations of the law and regulations. Pope is giving an example. Every day people are deforesting. There is a law states that it's a crime to cut down trees, to damage public property. And there is law, and people can be arrested, can be thrown into jail. But in Indian system, nothing works. Bribe, authority, power, political influence. And those laws are not implemented. That's what he is telling. So he is appealing to the government to look into the letter of the law and implement, execute. And we need to respect the law, and that can benefit environment, society, and the economics. And society is based on values. Society is based on moral values. So we can apply those values and bioethics when we plan progress and development. When we consider society's progress and development, we should also consider what's going on with the environment, what's going on with the economy. So again, Pope is telling, if at all we exist, the society, the economy, the environment, they should be in pristine condition. They should exist together. If at all we progress together. If at all we lose together. So in life and death, we are united, we are integral. So that is what Pope is telling in the paragraph number 142. So please, if you have a hard copy of Laudato Si, or if you have PDF file downloaded into your computer, please go to article or paragraph number 142 and you read now, and I think you won't have any problem to understand. And thank you, and God bless.